Hey everyone, trends are changing and it's time to learn the best and most in-demand editing style of this new era 3D. Many channels have used this editing technique to boost their retention to insane levels. Pretty crazy, right? And here's the best part today, I'll teach you how to do the same. So let's create this. The core idea behind this editing style is to separate the background and foreground into different layers to create a parallax scene. To achieve this, you'll first need AI-generated images. Just head over to Leonardo AI and get them. It's super easy. I've already shown how to do this multiple times. Once you have the images, I highly recommend enhancing them for the best results. You can use Canva for this. While using Canva for background removal is common, today I'll show you a completely free way to do it. Open Paint and select the part you want to remove, in this case, the lady. The magic eraser tool will erase the object. Save the image and reload the original one. This time, click this icon to remove the background completely. Now, you have the images separated into layers. Repeat the same process for the other two images, and this step is done. Next, open After Effects. I'll be using After Effects here, but if you want to learn how to achieve the same effect in CapCut, check out my Magnets Media videos. Follow the same dimensions I'm using, and set the length to 10 seconds. Since we have 3 pictures to animate, we'll divide the timeline into 3 parts. I will place markers like here and here. Similarly, here and there. I will remove the in-between markers. These markers mean that the animation will happen only between them, but the work doesn't end here. We also need to place some number markers, like at the first point, then between these 2 markers, between these 2 markers, and between these 2 markers. Lastly, one more at this last point. So these number markers are different, and the in-between markers without numbers are different. I will explain their use later, so let's move ahead. I will add all the images I have. After adding them, I will convert all of them to 3D. Along with that, we will add a camera layer. After that, we will add a null object. Convert this null object to 3D as well. Once all this is added, we need to go to the View option and set it to 2 view mode. Now, focus on the left screen, which we are seeing in top view. Select A1 and B1, meaning the first image. Move it to the left in the X direction. Now, select A3 and B3, meaning the third image, and move them to the right in the X direction. After that, I will select B1, B2, and B3, meaning all the backgrounds, and move them backward in the Z direction. Also, we will turn on the scale property and increase the scale. Increase it enough to cover the entire screen. Now, select the camera and move it towards the first image. Now, focus on these markers. So, first, I will go to the first marker, go to the camera's transform, and add keyframes for point of interest and position. Now, go to the second marker and move the camera towards the second image. Then, go to the third marker. Here, you have to add keyframes without any changes. Now, go to the fourth marker and move the camera near the third image. Now, connect this camera to the null using the parent option. Now, focus on these number markers because we will work on them now. So, I will go to the second marker and add a keyframe on the position of this null. Then go to the first marker and increase its Z value in such a way that the camera moves forward. Now, go to the third marker and slightly increase the Z value here as well. Now, go to the fourth marker. Copy the keyframe we added on the second marker and paste it on the fourth marker. Now, go to the last marker, the fifth marker, and again increase the Z value so that the camera moves forward like this. After all this, we need to apply flow to these keyframes. So, let me show you how. First, select the camera keyframes, go to Flow, create a flow like this, and apply it. Now, go to the null layer, select the 3 keyframes in between, and apply the same flow to them. Now, select the first 2 keyframes of the null and apply a curve that goes from fast to slow. Now, select the last 2 keyframes and create a reversed flow like this, then apply it. So it will look something like this. If you look at it, the middle part zooms in a bit too much. I will reduce it slightly, meaning I will move it backward a bit. Now, let's try again. Now, this looks good. By the way, if you look here, between these 2 photos, there is a black bar appearing. How do we hide it? To hide it, I have 2 PNGs. I will add them here. Convert them to 3D as well, and move them slightly backward in the Z direction. Place them approximately between the character and the background. Now, select any one PNG and move it to the spot where the black bar appears. Adjust it properly there. Now, move through the timeline back and forth and adjust it correctly so that the black bar is completely covered. See, it's working. Now, we have to adjust the second PNG in the same way. Move this PNG here and adjust it properly. Now, we no longer need 3D mode, so I will set it to 1-view mode. If you look at it, the PNG and the background image appear quite different. So, we need to apply some effects to blend them. One effect is called saturation. I will apply it to this PNG. Reduce its saturation slightly. Also, decrease the lightness a bit so that it matches the background. Now, copy this effect and apply it to PNG1 as well. After all this, I will add an adjustment layer here. On this adjustment layer, we will add an effect called Glow. The second effect we will add is Tint. The third effect we will add is Exposure. Now, let's adjust the settings of these effects. For Glow, set the radius to 100 and intensity to 0.6. For Exposure, set the exposure value to 0.2. So in the end, it looks something like this.